see, some of the upsets that happened in the game, and just good football teams, and margin for victory is pretty small sometimes. So it was good for us to come out and play well. We certainly didn't play perfect, but I thought we played hard throughout the game. We made some mistakes. Fumbled at the 1 yard line going in. Got beat on a couple of vertical throws. I thought we actually covered pretty well, but their receivers did a nice job making some plays. So a lot of things we got to improve on, but I thought overall it was a pretty clean game. Thought our guys executed better than we did last week. Got off to a good start. Did what they were supposed to do. So proud of the win. As I said earlier, it's not something we take for granted. I mean, that's you got to go out and you got to earn it every single Saturday, and I thought we did a good job of taking care of business.
Coach, what can
you say about the performance of Max? I think he said career high in yards and touchdowns.
I think Max, kind of said this last week, but really played exactly like we expected him to. Really, he had a good week of practice. He's practiced really consistently throughout. Really, going back to the spring, fall camp, and leading into the game week this week. I thought we had a really good, sharp Wednesday practice that was very impressive to me, and I thought Max looked good in practice on Wednesday. We have some explosive players. Some guys made some big plays. I thought he did a good job taking care of the ball. We hadn't turned the ball over at all until the end of the game. That was the first time we turned it over this year, and so we've been pretty good about taking care of the football and protecting the ball. And thought Max made good decisions, got the ball out to the guys that can make plays, and looked like a guy that was on his 30th start. I think that was what stood out to me, was just his experience and his comfort, and thought we protected well up front. And again, I thought some guys that are supposed to make plays made plays.
How exciting is it for you to see a young guy like Jordan Hudson have the game he had today?
Yeah, it was good. I mean, Jordan's, the best thing about Jordan is he's got that mentality that great receivers have, where when the ball's in the air, it's his ball. And so you can see he just does a fantastic job attacking the football. He's going to do nothing but continue to get better. I think the more he plays, the more he's going to learn, the more confident he's going to be. He's still kind of going out there some ways and freelancing a little bit, but he's talented enough to be able to fight through it when he has to. So, he got a big opportunity to play more when Savion went out. He's got a pretty mild shoulder injury that we don't think is going to be anything significant, but I think gave Jordan a chance to play, and I thought he did a good job.
Speaking of injuries, Quincy Brown looked like he was favoring his leg after that second touchdown. Can you give us?
I don't know anything yet. I think it's an ankle sprain, but X-rays were good. weren't any issues on his X-rays, so we'll kind of see how significant it is. I don't think we know anything yet.
The secondary had a couple interceptions tonight. Had a couple opportunities last week, but didn't quite follow through. What did you think about the back five?
Yeah. I thought overall they played well. McMillan made a heck of a heck of a play on that ball. Really did a good job of baiting that corner throw and jumping it and baiting the quarterback, and made a nice play on that ball. Josh Newton made a nice interception earlier. The good thing about both those kids is just compete really hard. I thought Trey competed hard and did some good things, back there as well. So, some things we got to improve on. Like I said, we gave up, I think, 3 fade balls at different points in the game. And knew those guys would challenge us with that. That's what we had seen on film. They were successful throwing it last week, and quarterback throws it well, and they got some receivers who can go get the ball. So lots of things we got to work on and get corrected, but overall I thought we played well.
Is it a good thing to see those type of receivers this early in the season to help you guys?
It is, yeah, it is. I mean, you want to get, honestly, as much work as you can, in games, and so that's every single rep is really important in a game, because it's an opportunity to learn. I think you can pick up so much by just being out there and playing under the lights and having to compete at a high level, and it just makes you confident, and that confidence encourages you to work a little harder. That when you work a little harder in practice, you have more success, and then you have success in the game, and all of a sudden you're a good football player. And it's kind of the process that you have to go through. But anytime you're facing good competition, that makes you better. look, we know this is gonna be, the last one of these games, like I told the players in there. I mean, everything from here on out will be a dogfight the rest of the year. We know that, we understand that, and we gotta do a good job getting prepared for it.
What's the status of Griffin Kemp?
Griffin had a little bit of an injury that kept him from kicking. I don't think it's gonna be anything significant. The thought was, let's try to rest him this week. We have an open week, and hopefully he'll be back full speed.
You mentioned it's difficult to get wins, even against the
Whoever, yeah.
You're the first coach here at TCU since Dutch Meyer to win his first 2 games.
Good stat, I didn't know
How
that.
meaningful is that to you?
Yeah, I mean, look, there's obviously been a lot of really good football coaches here. And what's happened, I think, is they've all made it better for the next one. I don't think that's what we're supposed to do when you take over a program. I think, Dennis Francione made it better for Gary Patterson, and Gary Patterson made it a lot better for me. And that's just the way this stuff works. And that's what you're supposed to do. And so I was lucky to get to come to TCU, that it's what it is now. I mean, it's a beautiful, we have a beautiful stadium. I think one of the best settings in college football. We got great fan base. We have fantastic facilities. We have a commitment that's unquestionable to winning and being successful. And so, that's a tribute more probably to those that came before me than it is to me, honestly. I think those guys, like I said, made it better for me, and my job is to make it better for whomever follows me at some point.
Were you, as a staff or players, aware of the upsets today
Yeah, that's the good and the bad about playing at night. You get to watch football during the day, and so we were kind of aware of what was happening. With Notre Dame, obviously losing to Marshall, and then obviously the Texas-Alabama game. Texas was a 20-point underdog, and you can make the argument probably should have won the game, and just all the stuff that happened today. There was a bunch of them.
Yeah.
And so you better not take anything for granted. And that's our job as coaches, is to get our players to perform at a high level regardless of who we play. And to me, that's when you have a really good program, is when you put a product on the field and you know exactly what you're going to get every single time you take the field. Now, we're certainly not there. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that, but I thought our guys had the right mentality. I thought they really prepared well, for this week. Typically, your first year in a program, there's a learning curve when it comes to that. And to our players' credit, they put the work in this week in practice, and they paid attention, and there was no difference in our preparation this week than there was last week. And our hope is that, with the open day coming up, we're going to have that same kind of preparation, and as we move into the next game week, we'll have that same kind of preparation.
Is the timing for the bye week, you feel like it's a good time for it to happen?
Really, honestly, I wish it was a little later. I don't like having a bye this early in the season. And I think we're playing pretty well, and I think when you're playing well, sometimes it doesn't serve you particularly well to have a bye. My goal would be, the ideal situation would probably be mid-season, but it is what it is. We don't make the schedules, and just got to play them out the way they are. It's like anything else. We got to do a good job of, accomplishing our goals during this bye week, which is get our guys healthy and rested and fresh. Is one goal, and the second goal is to get them better. We got to execute better, got to play better, I got to coach better. We just got to have a great game plan going into the next game, and that's what we got to do.
Obviously, SMU